who's a verbal expert, right? She conducts live online classes for our students, right? She has agreed to spend some time with all our students today and discuss with you on how to go about these deconstructing long RC passages, right? So, Saraswati, can you hear me?
Yes, Ruchiraj, I'm able to hear you. Am I audible?
Right, that's great. So, guys, yeah, you're absolutely audible. Guys, are you able to hear Saraswati? Yes, Rohit says yes. Anjali says yes. Muskan says yes. Sarath says yes. Arpit says yes. Okay, that's great. So guys, yes, so Saraswati has agreed to spend some time with us. So on behalf of the student welfare team, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to you, Saraswati. Thanks a lot, right? And guys, please make sure that you ask her a lot of questions, right? Because I'm sure this is going to be one of the very important sessions from your preparations perspective. Okay, so all the best, guys, and Saraswati, I hope that you enjoyed this session, right? And do let me know if you require any sort of help, right? So, guys, I would request each one of you to kindly give a warm welcome to Saraswati.
Yeah, thank you, Ruchiraj.
So, Saraswati, yes, you can start.
Yeah, thank you. So, welcome. Good evening, everyone. Yeah, welcome, Mohit, Anjali, Lalita. Yes. Okay, Kashyap, is it audible? Am I loud and clear to everyone? Okay, great. So, we are going to look at reading comprehension, and I'm going to share a few experiences of mine along with how to tackle reading comprehension type of question. So before moving on to that, we are going to deconstruct reading comprehension passage. So what is deconstructing? What is your opinion about deconstructing? What do you mean by that? Any guesses? Any ideas? Yes, Lalita says breaking down, splitting, divide in modules, details, simplify, to extract the meaning, framing up to smaller parts, splitting up, breaking the passage. Okay, great so far. So your understanding is perfect. To deconstruct is to analyze a text in order to show that there is no fixed meaning within the text. That is, whenever you read it, you will be getting different meanings to it. This is one point of view. The other way to say what deconstruct means is to separate something into parts from which it is made up and put them together again in a different way. So you are given a passage. First, you are trying to break the passage to its parts based on the sentence structure or based on the sentences that are given. And then you are going to understand each sentence as a part, and then you are going to put everything together and get an overall idea. So this is how you reconstruct a reading comprehension passage. Okay. So these could be a few difficulties that one might face in reading comprehension. Yes. Hi, Sharma. So just see if your problems lie somewhere in between. Constraint of time. Okay, Mohit says he faces all of them. Okay. So what is constraint of time when it comes to reading comprehension? Okay, Amreen says we have 1 minute to read. Okay. Okay, everyone is just pitching in with their problems. They are listing out the problems. Less time. Biggest monster. Okay. Taking a lot of time in reading. Time's a great barrier. quick reading, and many of them feel that time constraint is a major problem. So what should you do, or what you should do to overcome this constraint of time? You know that the time is very limited. They have restricted the time that you can spend for each question. So when you're practicing, you may be spending maybe 1 hour or 2 hours even for answering one set of questions. But then you cannot do it in your actual GRE, right? There, you need to complete everything within the given time. So each and every minute will be very precious there. So you cannot waste time. So time constraint is one of the major problems that anyone would face, especially when it comes to reading comprehension. Okay, Anjali says she forgets the upper part of the passage. So this is one of the problems. Most of the time we tend to forget what we are reading. So how many of you actually have this habit of taking notes while you're reading? Do you take notes? No, people say no, some say yes, I want but I can't. Why? Why, Saurabh? Have started. Good, Syed, that you have started. And do not know how to take notes, Ansari. Okay, it consumes time, says Islam. Okay, time constraint. Okay, so one of the good ideas to do with managing your time would be to start taking notes. Okay, Neha asks, do we need to take notes? It's not necessary, that it's not mandatory that you need to take notes, but when you take notes, you will be able to manage your time. Imagine you are given 4 to 5 passages or 4 to 5 paragraphs. Okay, at that time, remembering all the points at your head will become very much, difficult, isn't it? So at that time, when you're making note of all the important points that you're coming across, it will be helpful for you to answer the questions accordingly. So initially, when you're practicing it for a few times, say 5 times or 10 times, it can be time consuming, but gradually over a period of time, you'll be able to master the skill of taking notes. Okay, and some say that when it comes to passages that they are not familiar with, they find it difficult. Okay, I'll explain one by one. Okay, so time constraint, to overcome time constraint, one of the easy steps to follow is to start taking notes. If you have already started taking notes, kindly follow it, don't stop it. People who haven't started taking notes, it is a very good idea. Make sure that you're starting with it. Initially it will definitely take a little time. Gradually you'll be able to overcome that. Okay, so for time constraint, this is a good idea. Yes, Paris, they will actually provide scratch papers in your actual GRE for making calculations. You can make use of it. How to take notes? Okay, while you are attending a lecture or something in your classroom, you will not be making note of each and every point the lecturer says. You will quickly be making note of the hints, isn't it? In the same way, make note of all the key ideas or the important points that you're coming across. If something is related to the subject that is being discussed, imagine a new invention is the subject of the passage. Whatever is happening to that subject should be made note of. Whether the author is for the subject or against the subject, is there some critic suddenly coming in and saying something about the new invention? You can make note of all such things. Okay, Neha, I hope this helps. Yes, Amulya, we'll actually be looking at a few examples. If the subject matter is difficult to understand, do not get worried. As the fourth point says, unfamiliar topic or subject matter should not worry you. They are not going to test your subject knowledge about the passage that is being discussed. They just check your interpreting skills. Whatever be the subject, people from various fields come and write GRE, isn't it? It's not specific to one particular category. So if you're from science, okay, you can take this. If you're from humanities, you can take this. It's not like that. Variety of people from various fields of subjects actually come and write GRE. So they don't test your subject knowledge here. They test your interpreting skills with respect to the passage that is given to you. Okay, all the passages are self-contained. Exactly. For that you have a subject GRE, right? So all the passages are self-contained, and the information that is needed to answer the questions will be present in the passage itself. Okay, so consider a passage to be complete, and based on what is given in the passage, you need to answer the questions. So unfamiliar topic or the subject matter should not bother your understanding of the subject. If you still feel, ma'am, I'm not comfortable with this topic because of which I take a lot of time, I'm not able to do it well, so what should I do? Then my advice would be, as you have already identified your problem, start reading one or two articles related to the subject that you're not familiar with. Most of the students come up with humanities. If it is from literature, if it is from history, I'm not able to do it. How should I overcome? Start reading articles related to the subject that you're not familiar with. This is not to give you extra knowledge about the subject, but just to make you feel comfortable with the given subject. If you feel comfortable, you will be interested to read the passage. Then automatically you will get what the passage is trying to convey. Clear? Then, coming to the second point, long and complicated sentence structures in the passage. So the passage, especially if it is a long passage, you may come across a lot of complicated sentence structures. Okay, and long sentences can also be there. So one is long sentence, the other one is complex sentence structure. Both are different. Okay, some of you are asking for topics related to particular field that you're not familiar with. Okay, I'm not asking you to focus on anything in specific, but any prominent newspaper that is available to you, any online article that is available to you would be fine. GRE Edge has a special app for this named GRE Edge Word Locator. Okay, there we have a lot of articles categorized under various subjects. So there you can find a lot of articles related to subjects that you're not familiar with. The additional advantage there would be the words given in that particular passage will be highlighted for you. You can also copy any article from there, and then you can paste it here and you can read the article. Okay, then unfamiliar words and field specific words. So when you are reading any reading comprehension passage, if there are unfamiliar words or field specific words, do not get worried. Okay, you can guess the meaning of that word in the given context. Guessing the meaning of the given word in the context will help you to proceed with the answer choice. You'll not be stopped by if you don't get the exact meaning of that word, your understanding will not get stopped there. Clear? So unfamiliar words or field specific words should not bother your understanding. Be very clear about it. Guess the meaning of that word in the given context and answer the question. Even if in the case of questions where they give you exact word and ask you the meaning of the word, even there they do not look for literal meaning of those words. They just check whether you are able to understand the word in the given context and try to answer it. Okay, word locator as well as wordbot application, they are available in the GRE Edge website. Okay, and options are very similar. For that you need to practice this choice analysis or the process of elimination. Okay, so these problems that we have listed here are specific to long passages. One is time constraint, the other one is long sentences or sentence structures. Okay, Rajan asks the percentage of RC in total verbal section. Reading comprehension, you'll be getting 10 questions in each section. You'll be getting 20 questions out of 40. There are reading comprehension questions. Okay, yes, inference, not just inference, even critical reasoning questions are a little difficult where they test your critical reasoning skills. Okay, on the surface level, though GRE tests your reading comprehension, text completion, sentence equivalence and analytical writing, at the deep level they test your interpreting skills, your reading skills. Okay, they test your critical reasoning abilities, your analytical writing skills. So all these skills are being tested. Okay, so whatever be the case, make sure that you are comparing the options with relevant lines to come to a conclusion when it comes to reading comprehension. So the question could be main idea or tone or purpose, okay, or it could be inference. Whatever be the case, you will definitely have either relevant lines from the passage or relevant ideas from the passage with which you can compare all the given choices and come to a conclusion. Okay, clear? All right. So quite a few ideas are communicated implicitly. So what do you mean by implicit? Does it mean that that is not at all given in the passage? Yes, it will not be, clearly stated somewhere explicitly, but it will be hidden. It will be given indirectly. Yes, guys, great. Many of you are giving me answers, correct? So implicit is nothing but something that is not given directly, but it is implied. It is indirect. So on a surface level, it could mean something, but at the deep level, it could mean something else. Yeah, indirectly, implied, correct? Okay. How to select the line in the passage. Read the passage, understand the passage, then when you read the question, you will know which part of the passage has an answer to this question. Based on that, you'll be selecting the answer. Yes, Power, you're right. Okay, Vikas and others have a few suggestions. Okay, AWA score is not part of your 130 to 170. There is a different scale for it, which is 0 to 6. For choices that are similar, guys, just make sure that you are understanding the subtle differences between choices, because the choices can broadly be categorized as I'm just listing out it. Make note. Choices can broadly be categorized as something that is very close to the right answer that we call a close choice. Other one is exactly opposite of the right answer that we call a contrast answer. Okay. So that is the other one. The other one will be a distractor. Yeah, Pooja, you need to read a lot to improve your reading skills. Okay, when you improve your reading skills, your time management will automatically get improved. Right? So one is contrast, the other one is a distractor. So what is a distractor? It can have exact words or exact phrases from the passage. So when you, as soon as you look at that choice, you will be, you will tend to select that choice thinking that is the right answer. But that need not be the right answer. Okay, sometimes it can be the answer, but I'm not saying it is not at all the answer. Sometimes it can be. So you just need to be careful while you're selecting it. Make sure that you're analyzing all the choices before you come to a conclusion. Clear? Exactly, it depends on the question. Okay, Mansi has a doubt. I have a silly doubt. A habit of reading aloud. Can I do so during main exam? Mansi, there is a skill that we call, sometimes this can be only be experienced. It cannot be explained. I'm just telling you, see if you have experienced it. Sometimes when you're reading something, literally you will not be saying it aloud, but while you're reading it itself, your ears will be able to hear what you say. In actual sense, you'll not be saying anything, but your ears will be able to listen to what you're saying. You will just be mouthing the words. You'll not be saying it aloud. So that is possible in your actual GRE, but you cannot say it aloud. One more thing is, when you're doing it aloud, you're actually slowing down the process. Your speed will get reduced. Yes, Rajan, distractors can be used for distractions. Exactly. How to understand the topic sentence in implicit passages. The topic sentence will either be available in the first part of it or in the middle or towards the end. It is always not that it will be in the first part. So you first need to get an overall idea about the passage. When you eliminate all the supporting details like examples, evidences, statistics, any surveys, if you eliminate all such things, then getting the main idea will be easier. Yes, Kaushik, it is common for most of the questions, but for main idea type of question, isolating the supporting details and the main idea will to a large extent solve this problem. For inferential type of questions, you will not have direct lines with which you can compare your choices. Instead, you will only have ideas with which you can compare the choices. Yeah, because as I told, it's not the books, kindly people who are trying to improve your reading skills, don't go for novels because that will not help. Maybe for improving your speed, novel can help. But to improve your reading skill, especially with regards to GRE, reading comprehension, start reading articles of serious nature because in your actual GRE, you're not going to get something that is of story type. Okay, so don't prefer reading story type of articles. Go for serious reading. Okay, and sometimes people may have, yes, Amit, please give me some time. I'll definitely come back to this complex sentences and reading comprehension. And some people have this notion that I should read the passage only once and I should be able to get the answer. So there is no such thing called reading the passage and getting all the information and answering the questions. You may definitely have to go back to the passage to scan. Like some of you have mentioned, skimming and scanning will definitely help you get the answer. When you're reading the passage for the first time, you need to skim through the information quickly and understand the overall idea about the passage. Based on that, read the questions. Okay, and then get to know which part of the passage has an answer to that question. Then come back to that passage, scan for specific ideas or key notes. Is it clear? Yeah, Jagdish and others who have the same questions for answering multiple choice, multiple selection, make sure that you are comparing the options because for multiple choice, multiple selection questions, you will not know the exact number of choices that are correct. Okay. So unlike text completion and sentence equivalence, you will not know the exact number of answers that are correct. So to select all the right answers, you need to compare the options. That is the only way. Okay. And average time. Many of you are asking for average time that you can spend for reading comprehension. It differs from person to person. But ideally, in your actual GRE, you should be able to complete a short passage which can be equal to text completion triple blank within 1 minute to 1.5 minutes, a medium passage within 2 minutes to 2.5 minutes, a long passage, it could be the size of an A4 sheet. You need to complete it within 4 to the maximum of 4.5 minutes just to read the passage. For answering each question accordingly, you need to manage the time. You need to balance. Yeah, power, just a minute. I used to read motivational quotes and I'm addicted to it. Can it be helpful? You can read any sort of articles. It's not that you should read only this or only that. You can read anything, okay? But it should be something serious. It should not be any story kind of thing. Okay, skimming and scanning, just try to experiment it. It will definitely help. Yeah, hi Swati. Okay, next question is whether to read the question first or the passage first. Both are correct. Rohit, clear? Both are actually correct methods, but see which ones to suits you. For me, reading the passage first may suit, and for others, reading the question first may suit. So it's not that this is correct or that is correct. Both are correct because anyway, when you're reading the passage first also, you're going to go back to the question and come back to the passage again. When you're reading the question first also, you're going to read the passage at least for twice. So making, there is no such thing that this is correct and that is correct. Both are correct. See which one helps you start preparing or practicing with that. Okay. And there are a few questions. Which newspaper should I read? Any prominent newspaper that is available to you. Okay. You can make use of that. Sharat asks, can we keep reading the passage and read the question parallelly? If you're doing that, Sharat, then you're actually wasting time. Start focusing on one thing, okay? Read the question first or read the passage first. If you're trying to do this way, then you'll be reading the passage again and again for all the questions, then you'll actually waste time. Okay, then there is one more thing. If I partially get the right answer, how will I be marked? If you get, imagine there are 4 choices that are correct and you have selected only 3 out of 4, then the entire question will go wrong. There is no partial scoring. Only when you get all the right answers, your question will be considered for scoring. Yes, Mohit, editorials of the newspaper are recommended. You can actually go with that. Sharat, yeah, kindly make use of GRE Ed's word locator. Okay, Amuli, like words should not bother your understanding as I already told. Words are given for you to understand the meaning of that word in the given context. Okay. And Lalita, for close choices, you need to compare the options because there will be very subtle differences between the choices. To understand that, you need to read it, understand the subtle difference, compare the options, and then come to a conclusion. Because among the given choices, the close choice can be true in the light of the passage, but it need not answer the question. We are just asked to look at the question and find an answer to it. We are not asked to select all the choices that are correct in the light of the passage. So there is a difference. All these are distractors. Okay, ma'am, answer this. If we tick 2 right answers from 3, what score will be considered? Power, you will not be given any score at all for, if you're selecting 2 out of 3. The entire question will go wrong. Yes, Sharma, it will definitely help. Okay, guys, I guess we can move on. Yeah, I'm sorry for that. Okay, so now we are going to look at a table of comparison between short and medium-sized passage and long passages. Okay, so a short passage will be brief. The ideas will be a little lesser when compared to long passages, where the long passages will be elaborate. That makes it long. Okay, so here it is very brief. The short passages or medium passages, it will be to the point most of the time. Long passages will be a little elaborate. Short passages most of the time has no examples. Long passages will have a lot of examples or supporting details. So examples in the sense, it need not be examples always. It could be any supporting details, like the author would have used any statistics or any survey. So any such thing can come in. All those are supporting details. So in our friends group, we always have a friend who will, keep on repeating the same thing again and again, no matter how many times we say, okay, I understood, even at the first time that you explain, why are you saying this again and again? Okay, each friends group will have a person like that, right? Long passages is similar to that. One particular idea will be repeated through various examples or various supporting details. Okay, difficulty with long passages can be overcome with the help of practice. So if you practice more and more, you'll be able to overcome. I'll explain it, Mohit. Okay, so examples here will be, you'll hardly have any examples for short and medium passages, but for long passages, there will be a lot of examples. Fewer ideas in short passages, but too many ideas in long passages. Then relatively complicated. Okay, if you examine short passages, though they look very short, the sentence structure will be very much complex. Okay, the sentence structure will be convoluted. Okay, Kushagra is again and again asking about tone, how to find the tone of the author. So I thought not to interrupt this part. Okay, I'll explain, Kushagra. To find the tone of the author, isolate the facts from opinion. The facts will remain as a fact no matter who is saying it. Okay, even if I say, you say, he say, he or she says, whoever says, the fact will always be a fact. Okay, focus on opinion. What is my opinion about this fact? What is her opinion about the fact? What is someone else's opinion about the fact? That determines the tone. Okay, so in the given passage, if you are able to isolate the fact from author's opinion, getting the right answer for tone type of questions will be easier. Fine, Shiva, Kushagra? Yeah, Payal, I'm not clear about the question. Yeah, Sai, you will not know the difficulty level as a writer. Okay, you will be writing the exam, you will be appearing for the exam, and you will not know the difficulty level of the questions that you are answering. So irrespective of the difficulty level, as I told you, 1.5 minutes to the maximum for short passages, 2 to 2.5 minutes for medium, and to the maximum of 4 to 4.5 for long passages. Okay, Shiva, inference and assumption, all such things are very subtle. So that we'll be discussing in each workshops. Okay, it is a broader topic. Okay, Ansari says longer passages sometimes reduce interest. Yes, it sometimes reduce interests, but there is no other way, because only when you understand the long passages you will be able to answer. One more thing is, when you're taking notes, even when you do not have that interest to do it, when you're taking notes, you will not miss anywhere. Okay, stylish is nothing but, instead of saying something very directly, you tend to say it, some indirectly, or by giving some other details to it. For example, if I say, had it not rained, I would have reached office on time. I'm just repeating. Had it not rained, I would have reached office on time. So what does it mean? The first thing is, did it rain or did it not rain? Yes, it rained. Yeah, people who are saying no understand the question or understand the sentence structure. Had it not rained, I would have reached office on time. First thing is, I didn't reach office on time. The reason is, it had rained. Because it rained, I couldn't reach office on time. So instead of saying it directly, I'm just saying, had it not rained, I would have reached office on time. This is a stylish sentence. So whenever you're getting not before a word, it doesn't mean that it didn't rain. It had actually rained, but the person is putting it this way. This is a stylish sentence. Instead of saying, I didn't reach on time because it rained, I'm just putting it as, had it not rained, I would have reached office on time. Okay, people who had doubt with stylish sentence, I hope you're clear. Okay, when you feel two things are equally correct, that means you are stuck up with close choice and the right answer. So for that, you just need to compare the options and understand the subtle difference between the choices. Okay, that is a good one, Sai. Yeah, Jeet. Yeah, it is a broader category, Jeet. It needs a lot of explanation. Okay, what is the practical relevance of using this stylish sentence to make you understand? Okay, list of stylish sentences. Okay, whenever you're reading any passage, you can encounter stylish sentences. There are a few, syntax. Stylish sentence can be this way, that way. There are a few things like that. Okay, then for coming back to this slide, for short and medium questions, the questions will be tricky where you can expect inference or critical reasoning type of questions. But here, when it comes to long passages, factual questions but time consuming. You will have factual questions most of the time where the answer will be directly given in the passage, but it will consume a lot of your time. Okay, and stylish sentences are present in this as well as that. Yeah, people who are asking about the time that you can spend, as I already said, it is 1.5 ideal time for short passages. Okay, and it could be 2 or 2.5 for longer ones. It could be 3.5 to 4.5 for, yeah, the long passages. Short, medium and long, this can be the ideal one. For answering each question, you can spend up to 1.5 to 2 minutes, not more than that. Okay, others, I want you to read this passage. We are just going to look at how to deconstruct a passage. Do not be in a hurry. Take your time. How many of you are still reading? Okay, people who have read, make note. People who are reading, kindly complete it and let me know. Okay, completed, finished, read. Great. I guess we can start deconstructing this particular passage. We are going to look at each sentence in detail. Okay, how to deconstruct and how to understand, how to break the passage and how to understand. The hypothesis of an expanding Earth has never attracted notable support. And if it were not for the historical example of continental drift, such indifference might be a legitimate response to an apparently improbable concept. So if you look at this part, you have a stylish sentence over here, from here till here. The first one is pretty clear, right? The hypothesis of an expanding Earth. So there is a hypothesis. What is it about? It is about expansion of Earth or expanding Earth. And one more fact is being registered, that This particular hypothesis has never attracted notable support. Okay? And then there is a stylish sentence that comes in. If it were not for the historical example of continental drift, such indifference might be a legitimate response to an apparently improbable concept. So this is not only a stylish sentence but also a long sentence with a lot of ideas, isn't it? I'm just giving you another example of similar type. See if this helps. If it were senior citizens occupying the seats reserved for women in the bus, such a behavior could be justified. I'm just repeating it again. If it were senior citizens occupying the seats reserved for women in the bus, such a behavior could be justified. So based on this, what do you understand? Are senior citizens sitting in the seats occupied, reserved for women or not? Yeah, very few have given me the right answer. Senior citizens are not sitting in the seats reserved for women, but someone else is sitting. If they were sitting, if senior citizens were occupying the seat, then such a behavior would be justified. As they are not sitting, this behavior is not justified. Okay, that is the stylish sentence here. Same is the case with this particular sentence. If it were not the historical example of continental drift, such indifference might be a legitimate response to an apparently improbable concept. So the understanding based on this stylish sentence is that there is another thing called continental drift. Okay, there is another thing called continental drift. One thing. So it's not just expansion theory, but it is also about continental drift. And what do they say in this particular sentence? They say that if it were not for the historical of continental drift, such indifference might be legitimate. So they had treated even continental drift in the similar way during the initial stages. So even continental drift didn't attract notable support earlier. So if it were not for this example, then this would have, they would have accepted this. Is it clear? So based on this particular sentence, this is a long sentence. It has a stylish sentence in it. Okay. Yeah. Sumit asks, what is continental drift? Sumit, based on the given question or based on the given passage, understanding that there are two theories. One is expanding Earth and the other one is continental drift. This would be fine. You need not know what is expanding theory or what is continental drift. If you already know that, it is an added advantage. But if you don't know that, don't worry. They are not going to test whether you know it or not. Okay. So based on this, what can be expanding Earth? The Earth is getting expanded. Okay. That we guess. Similarly, continental drift, the drift happened within continents or not. Guess. Okay. Always guess the meaning of these words. They are field specific words that we do not know. So guess. So based on this, what we can understand, the author introduces two concepts. One is expansion theory and the other one is continental drift. Clear? So this is how you need to make note when you're reading. Break the sentence in the similar way and try to understand. Yeah, Kushagra, it is just a simple stylish sentence. If you get these ideas, that is fine. Clear? So the second sentence, it should be remembered, however, that drift too was once regarded illusory, but the idea was kept alive until evidence from physicists compelled geologists to reinterpret their data. Again, a few details that you need to understand. It should be remembered. They are asking you to remember something. So what should be remembered? That drift, that is continental drift, too was once regarded illusory. What is illusory? Anjali, during your exam, you're not going to start taking notes for the first time. But by that time, you need to master that skill so that the time that you consume will be less. Exactly. Not real, fake, imaginary, imaginative. Exactly. Everyone is giving me the right answer for illusory. So it's not something that is real, but something imaginary. So it should be remembered, however, that Drift too was once regarded illusory. So now they have accepted drift theory, but once it was considered illusory. But the idea was kept alive. Though it was considered illusory, they have kept the idea alive until evidence from physicists compelled geologists to reinterpret their data. So geologists had some data and physicists have given some evidence to the geologists so that the geologists have reinterpreted their data. Okay. So while we are reading it this way, I guess many can actually take notes. Whatever I'm underlining here are nothing but keywords. Okay, Sai Sandeep. So this is how you take notes. What is your understanding based on this particular sentence? Continental drift was considered illusory until physicists provided evidences. So like expansion theory, continental drift was also considered illusory. So how did I compare this now? There is a hint here. Drift too was once regarded illusory, which means expansion theory is now considered illusory. Do you understand the twist? They are not saying it directly, but it is implied with this particular word being used. Drift too was considered illusory. Okay, so the word could be very simple, but pay attention. Pay close attention. Yeah, too implies. Exactly. So now look at the next sentence. Of course, it would be as dangerous to overreact to history by concluding that the majority must now be wrong about expansion as it would be to reenact the response that greeted the suggestion that the continents had drifted. Such a long sentence. I guess I need to fetch some water. So people, while you're reading such a long sentence, make sure that you're understanding the trick. Okay? The trick here is, of course, it would be as dangerous to overreact to history by concluding the majority must now be wrong about expansion. So from here, you are taking a pause only here. The sentence structure is as dangerous as. In between this, they have given a big idea, a long sentence in between. But the sentence structure is so simple. As dangerous as simple as, you know the structure, right? Positive comparative superlative that we have read during our school days. Same is the sentence structure here. But see how well they have crafted it. It would be as dangerous to overreact to history by concluding that majority must now be wrong about expansion. Okay, so they are just warning us that don't overreact to history now. If you overreact, it is as dangerous as it would be to reenact the response that greeted the suggestion that the continents had drifted. So they're just comparing. Okay, if you overreact to this, it is as dangerous as you reenact this. Clear? An outline idea. So popular belief is challenged and a tone of warning is present. They are warning us. It is as dangerous as it would be to reenact. Yeah, reenact means doing the same thing that had happened previously. Clear? So imagine there is an autobiography, and if someone is doing it or they are screening it on stage, then they are reenacting the same thing that had already happened in the past. That is reenacting. Okay, reenact is nothing but to do the same thing that had already happened earlier. Yamini, is it clear? Yes, Jeet, you mean the exact passage? This particular sentence, okay. There is just a tone of warning here. The author asks us not to overreact to history, because if you overreact to history, it is as dangerous as you reenact the response that greeted the suggestions that continents had drifted. So it's just a simple comparison between this and that. Okay, Swati, the overall understanding of this context would be fine. We need not know the exact details. Okay, because guys, whoever has this quality of going into details, kindly do not do that, because they are not going to test all those things. Okay, get an overall idea in the first reading. That would be fine. Based on the question, if the question asks you to go for deep meaning, then you can go for that. Okay, otherwise you'll be wasting time. So what if you are focusing on this particular part for 2 minutes, and if there is no question from this part, you have actually wasted time, right? So for the first time when you're reading it, do not go in detail. Okay, understand the overall idea, get an overall idea, that would be fine. Okay, the next sentence is that the cases are not precisely analogous. So what do you mean by analogous? Yes, yes, Ram Prasad. So this sentence has an answer to your question. Yes, similar, related, correlated, same way, similar, exactly. So analogous is something similar, but what does the author say? The cases are not precisely analogous. What does it mean? What are the two cases that we were talking about? You need not type the entire word, just the starting letters would be fine. What are the two cases that we are talking about? Exactly, drift, expansion. So expansion of Earth and drift theory are the two things that we are talking about. And the author says the cases are not precisely analogous. So do not compare two things that are not at all similar to each other. That's what the author says. Okay. There were serious problems with the pre-drift worldview that a drift theory could help to resolve, whereas expansion appears to offer no comparable advantages. The reason is, if physicists could show that the Earth's gravitational force has decreased with time, expansion would have to be reconsidered and accommodated. So this part can be taken as a concluding line. There were serious problems with pre-drift worldview. So they are just giving you an information that pre-drift worldview had serious problems, and this particular drift theory came in to resolve this problem. Whereas, so there is a shift, transition is being used, whereas expansion appears to offer no comparable advantages. Pre-drift worldview was there, a lot of problems were there. Drift theory came in and solved those problems. But when it comes to expansion theory, no comparable advantages are there. Yes, Ashta, I'm not sure, but I'll check. Okay. The second one says, if, however, physicists could show that the Earth's gravitational force has decreased with time, expansion would have to be reconsidered and accommodated. So why are they giving this sentence here? Why are they giving this sentence here? Because for drift theory, when physicists gave evidence for the geologists, they reinterpreted their data, and this drift theory came into existence. The concluding line says, again, if physicists could show this, that the Earth's gravitational force has decreased with time, then expansion theory can also be considered or accommodated. Okay, so they need evidence from physicists so that they can accommodate, or they can redo their work. Is it clear? Yes. Okay, so the understanding based on this particular sentence is that one concept, that is continental drift, seemed to solve some problem regarding worldview, but the other one, which is expanding universe, has no such advantage. Okay, Tanmay, it is a mixture. It is not only one, it is a mixture. So for such questions, you will not be asked this particular question. Okay. All right. I want you to at least have a look at one question from this passage. So the main idea here is that the drift theory is accepted, whereas the expansion theory is not accepted. So based on this particular passage, the overall idea that we get is this. So based on your first reading, if you are able to get this, then you are on the right track. The drift theory is accepted, whereas the expansion theory is not accepted. So I want you to have a look at this question now. Do not hurry up. Do not look at the choices. Just close the choices and look at the question, understand the question, and then go for the choices. No, Jeet, you need to check your answer. Think of relevant lines. Aslam, you need to check. And Lalita, you have given me the right answer. Ansari, you need to check. Neha has given me the right answer. Vikas, you need to check. Yes, Mohit, but what is the answer? Yeah, Mushkar, you need to check. No, others. Yeah, Kaushik, your answer is correct. Others, you need to check. Yeah, Kaushik's answer is correct. Others, you need to check. Again, Yogana, your answer is correct. And Saurabh, your answer is correct. Others need to check your answer. Yes. Sakshi, your answer is correct. Others, please check. Firdaus, your answer. Yeah, Firdaus, your answer is correct. No, others, please check your answer. No. No, Venkat and others, check your answer. Amit, check your answer. Pradeep, check your answer. Nishant, Ansari. Yeah. Yeah, Mushkan, you're right. Vikas, you're right. Yeah, Ashishwini, you're right. Murli, you're right. Venkat, you're right this time. No, Sharath, check your answer. Yeah, Ansari, you're right now. Yeah, it's going to be Murli. Okay. Others, do not merely give me all possible choices. Okay. Think of relevant lines. What does the question say? The passage indicates that one reason why expansion hypothesis has attracted little support is that it will not. So, because of this reason, expansion hypothesis did not attract support. So, what is the reason? So, to give you a clue, it is located in the last part that we saw. Yeah, Jagdish, your answer is correct, and others, you need to check your answer. Rajan, you need to check. No, Amit, check your answer. Ashta, check. No, Nishant. Yamini, check. Rohit, check. No, Rajeshwari, you need to check. Ram Prasad. And yeah, others, you need to check. Yeah, Anjali, I'll be discussing all the choices and let you know the answer. Jitesh, you're right. So I hope everyone is clear with the question. The question is very straight. It says the passage indicates that one reason why expansion hypothesis has attracted little support. So the starting line of the passage was expansion hypothesis did not attract notable support. So the reason is the answer. Why didn't it attract support? Because it didn't withstand criticism from scientists outside the field of geology. So just tell me, for a theory to get support, should it actually withstand criticism? Whatever be the case, criticisms will always be there, isn't it? Whether it is good or bad, criticisms will always be there. So just because it didn't withstand criticism, it didn't get support. Option E is not the right answer. Option D says accommodate relevant theories from the field of physics. So people who selected option D, my question to you is, imagine you are from a science background and you are submitting a thesis. Is it necessary that your thesis should have or accommodate relevant theories from other fields, like it could be history or biology or any other field? For one thesis to become a theory, should it actually accommodate relevant theories from various other fields? If it is accommodating, then it is an additional advantage, but it's not mandatory that you definitely need to accommodate relevant theories for you to be successful. There is no such thing, right? Option D is not the answer. Option C says complement the theory of continental drift. Imagine there are group of 5 people and each one is coming up with a theory. For one person's theory to be good, should it actually complement the other person's theory? If I am submitting a theory or hypothesis, should I complement my friends so that my work will gain support? It is as simple as that. So it's not that option C, complement the theory of continental drift. As it didn't complement the theory of continental drift, it didn't attract support, is not the right answer. Clarify theories concerning the Earth's gravitational force can be a close choice, but the right answer is option A. Okay, I have relevant lines for it. I'll just show it to you. Have a look. Have a look. Yeah, Pradeep, that is given in the question, the choice that I have given you. If you by mistake have a look at this particular sentence, you may select the other choices. But where should you look at? There were serious problems with the pre-drift worldview that a drift theory could help to resolve, whereas expansion hypothesis appears to offer no comparable advantages as it didn't solve any of the problems that were existing for expansion hypothesis. Or the current geological hypothesis had a lot of problems that this particular thing did not come and solve. That's why it didn't attract notable support. Clear? So now we just had a look at how to deconstruct a passage and how to answer the questions, how to analyze the choices, closed choice and the right one. Amit, was it difficult, RC? Okay, the reading comprehension passage does not make it difficult, but the questions makes it difficult. The passages can be from the same level, but the questions can be from various levels of difficulty. Okay, the passages are not categorized as easy, medium or difficult, but the questions are being categorized as easy, medium or difficult. Clear, Amit? And others who had the same question? Okay, so when you are these are a few tips for you to make note. When you're writing notes, make sure that you're not writing something with a complete grammar, full sentence structure, pakka English. No one is going to come and check all those things. Okay. So your tips can be in simple words, even in your SMS language, because only you are going to rely upon your notes. No one is coming to come and say, this is not there, that's not there. No one is going to ask. So always make sure that your notes are to the point, simple, terse. Okay. Write them down in the same logical order in which they appear. This will help you to answer the questions accordingly. Do not write them in a random way. Then you need to write another key text for your own notes. Okay, Ashta says, if the passage is simple for us, should we still make notes? No, Ashta, this is only for reading comprehension long passages. When we are not able to keep all the ideas in mind, we can make use of these. Okay, read them to get a bird's view, to make sure that you are getting a complete idea. Okay, after you take notes, just have a look at your notes. Read it completely once. Connect the ideas to the sentence using numbers. It will help you to track it easily. Okay, imaginary numbers. It will help you to go back to the passage and answer the questions accordingly. Try not to understand. Yeah, try to understand the main idea, supporting details, and the reason for using examples. If the author is using some example, then he is actually doing it to restate his stance, or this is my stance. I'm using this example to again say my stance is correct. For that reason, the author will use that. So make note of all such things. This will help. Okay, and people who are beginners, start focusing on short and medium sized passages first. Do not start with long passages, because as soon as you start, if you start with long passages, sometimes you may get bored, or you may feel afraid. Okay, how long it is, how am I going to do this? You should not get all such thoughts. Then master analytical reading and critical reasoning. So analytical reading is a skill that is being tested. We just had a part of it in today's workshop. Okay, so analytical reading is very important. Critical reasoning will come when you practice more. You need to think in the logical way that is expected of you. Do not be in a hurry. Okay, that is very, very important. It is better to practice a few exercises and sharpen your abilities rather than solving a large number superficially. Yes, Kaushik, long passages are common in GRE. We do not know the number of long passages that you will get, but you will definitely get a minimum long passage. Like it could be 1, 2, or for a few students, they have reported that they have even got 3 to 4. So it differs from person to person. It's not fixed. Okay, Anjali, whatever we did now, just give a try and see if it helps while you are practicing. Okay, don't bother about the speed when you are doing it for the first time. Speed will come only when you practice. Okay, finally, when you're when you're okay with all these things, your accuracy is good, you're good with short and medium passages, then go for long passages. Not until then. In parallel, read 3 to 4 editorial articles every day from prominent newspapers and magazines. Any prominent newspaper or magazine would be fine. Okay, so yeah.
Right, right. Okay, so Saraswati, I'd like you to allow me to talk to the students for a couple of minutes, right? If only if you allow me, that is, right? So can I borrow 2 minutes from the session, Saraswati?
Yeah, sure, Ruchiraj. Go ahead.
Right, right, right. So thank you very much, Saraswati. Right, guys, how's the session going on? I'm sure that there are a couple of more doubts that are left unanswered, right? But meanwhile, I would love to have some feedback from your side on the session on how happy are you guys with GR8. So guys, quickly answer the poll that's there on the screen. So that guys, we have this Q&A session that is coming up, right? But before that, I would love to talk to you for a couple of seconds more, couple of moments more, right? So quickly answer the poll that is there on your screen, and please let me know how's the session like, right? So Kaushik says awesome, Sakshi says good, Asta says awesome, fine says Jagdish, very good says Rohit, right? Very good says Ripudaman, Chad says awesome, awesome boost up says Venkat, love to attend more such sessions says Amit, right? Okay, guys, thank you very much, right? Well, guys, but here I would like to ask you some question. Well, ask you a couple of questions. Well, guys, did you learn something important about RCs in today's session? Kaushik says yes. Lalita says yes. Vikas says yes. Making notes says Rameza. Mohit says very, very likely, right? Yes, Chirag says Anjali. Definitely says Swati. Yes, says Sharath. Yes, some important tips, right? So, do you feel that sessions like these are really, really helpful? Yes, yes, right. Well, guys, do you think that live online classes like these can help you perform better in your GRE? Yes. Pudman says yes. Yashaswini says yes. Swati says yes. Yup says Venkat. Right. Yes, yes, says Sarat. Well, that's great, guys. If yes, GIH can help you upgrade your learning to live online classes, right? So all you need to do is click on the link, right? And you will be redirected to a page where all you need to do is enter your details, right? You need to enter your name, your phone number, and your email ID, and press the submit button, and then type in DONE done, right? Well, all said and done, guys, yes, for everyone who does not prefer going to classes, instead wants to get some sort of individual guidance from a tutor like Saraswati, of course. Well, for you guys, GRE Edge has most certainly arranged for some really, really cool and awesome live online classes. Okay, so this would not clash with your daily schedule. In fact, we'll try to schedule live online classes late in the evening, right? So all you need to do is click on the link, enter the details, that's the name, okay, your email ID and your phone number, and then type in DONE done, right? So guys, please let me know how many of you have clicked on the link already and then enter your details. So it's a four-step process. Click on the link, enter the details, press the submit button, and then type in DONE done, right? So guys, Sai Sandeep says done. Rameza says done, right? Paris has clicked on the link, right? Paris, I've sent the link again. Guys, is the link opening for you guys? Uh, I believe a couple of you guys are not able to access the link. If there is anyone who is not able to click on the link, then please let me know. Right. Give me a second, guys. Right. I'll send the link to you guys again. All right. Please let me know if you are able to access the link now. Yes. So, guys, alternatively, you can also answer the poll that is there on your screen. Right. Please, so those of you who have not able to answer, open the link. This is the place where you can let us know if you would like to upgrade your learning experience to live online classes. Right. So quickly answer this poll, and please let me know if you would like to upgrade your program to live online classes. Right. Well, guys, the student counselors will get in touch with you, right, and they will explain you on how to go about this entire process, right. And trust me, those of you who feel that you require attention of the SFAs and you require personal tutoring, right, the live online classes are going to help you in every way. So please do not hesitate. All you need to do is click on the link, okay, enter the details and press the submit button and then type in DONE done. Yes, Suni says I would love to. That's great. Yes, Anjali, you can join it. Right. Also, guys, have you answered the poll already? If yes, then please type in yes and let me know that you have done answer the poll. And those of you who have not answered the poll, come on, guys, quickly answer the poll and then type in yes. Right. Well, meanwhile, let me ask Saraswati. Saraswati, how's the session like? Did you enjoy conducting the session with all the students?
Yes, Ruchiraj, it was a very good experience with a lot of students, a lot of energy.
Right, right. Yes, so I see the SFAs are also very, very excited and would love to have you guys along with them for almost every class that they conduct, right? So do not hesitate, guys. Quickly answer the poll and then type in yes. Alternatively, you can also click on the link, enter your details, and press submit button, and then type in DONE done. So, guys, yes, with this, I would love to hand over to Saraswati. Saraswati, you can take up a couple of more questions before we end the session. Right. So thanks a lot, guys. Thanks a lot. And yeah, Saraswati, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Ruchiraj. So, others. So, these are the questions, typical problems that one would face while doing reading comprehension. So I hope everyone got an idea about how to take notes while you're reading the passage. Okay, and few of you, I couldn't mention your name and answer, but then I hope I answered everyone's questions. Yeah, some. Okay. Yeah, Mushkin, you'll actually be provided with the paper in your actual GRE. Yeah, they will provide it to you. Jitesh, you need to read the passage like what we did now and try to answer. Okay, you need to practice it more and more, Jitesh, because it needs a lot of practice. When you practice more, you'll be able to do it. No matter if it is a long passage or a long sentence, if you break it and understand the parts, if you deconstruct it and try to understand, you will be able to get it. For answering any question type, Ram Prasad, you can take 1.5 to 2 minutes. Okay, Kaushik, it is just the number of questions. In each section, you'll be getting 10 questions from reading comprehension, but the number of passages is not fixed. It could be from one passage you may get 2 questions, or it could be from one passage you may get 4 questions. So the number of questions from each passage and the number of passages is not fixed, but the number of questions in each section is fixed. Yes, you can definitely leave, Mushkan. Don't be afraid of reading comprehension because it is actually easy, because for text completion and sentence equivalence you need to learn something out of what is given. You need to improve your vocabulary and such things. But for reading comprehension, everything is present right in front of you. A little wise guess and getting an idea of what is given to you, your interpreting skills and your reading skills should help you. So start focusing on that. People who still think RC is a nightmare, you will definitely be able to overcome it. Don't worry, a little bit of practice will do. For mastering analytical reading, take anything that you're not comfortable with, try to break it, try to cut it down, understand the parts as separate, put it together, get an overall idea. Your understanding will improve. You'll feel better about the passage. Yeah, thank you so much for attending. And I wish you all the very best for your GRE preparations. I wish you all give your best in your GRE and come out with flying colors. All the very best. And thank you.
Yes, thank you very much, Saraswati. And Saraswati, I would request you to kindly move on to the contact details section, right? Um, that is there. So, guys, meanwhile, as Saraswati shares the contact details, right? I would love to thank Saraswati on behalf of all the attendees and of course the student welfare team, of course, right? So thank you very much. Thank you very much, Saraswati, and I hope that you enjoyed the session. And also, guys, thanks a lot. Well, you have heard Saraswati already, and I'm sure that this session has been really, really informative for you guys, right? So you guys can most certainly be a part of the GREH live online class, that's GREH eClass, right? And get all the doubts cleared the way you did in today's session. Okay, so guys, with this, we have come to the end of this session. Thanks a lot. Okay, thanks a lot for being so interactive, so awesome. Okay, and you guys have been brilliant set of audience, right? And keep up this work, guys, and all the best. And happy learning with GREH. This is Richard Bhardwaj signing off. Thank you very much.